Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Alpha platform. Before we get started today, do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are growing quickly thanks to you all. I want to get to 1,500 subscribers by the end of the week, so I appreciate your support and your love. Let's get started. So, the U.S. job growth totaled 175,000 in April, much less than expected, while unemployment rose to 3.9%. Was published on Friday, May 3rd by Jeff Cox, CNBC. Let's get started here. The U.S. economy added fewer jobs than expected in April, while the unemployment rate rose, lifting hopes that the Federal Reserve will be able to cut interest rates in the coming months. Non-farm payrolls increased by $175,000 on the month, below the $240,000 estimate from the Dow Jones Consensus, the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Friday. The unemployment rate ticked higher to 3.9% against expectations it would hold steady at 3.8%. As an employee, a W 2 employee, we've been seeing a bunch of TikToks, a bunch of social media content about how hard it is to find a job and how difficult people are having in terms of finding gainful unemployment. It feels like there are jobs available. Those are very low skilled, low paid jobs that you can't really make a living on. So let's get into that job creation report here. This is a little graph. This shows just how little jobs have been created in April. That's the lowest in a while. In comparison to January 2022. So you see that's like a staggeringly low amount in terms of job creation. Average hourly earnings rose 0.2% from the previous month and 3.9% from a year ago, both below consensus estimates and an encouraging sign for inflation. The jobless rate tied for the highest since January 2022, a more encompassing rate that includes discouraged workers and those holding part-time jobs for economic reasons, also edged up to 7.4%, its highest level since November 2021. The labor force participation rate, or those actively looking for work, was unchanged at 62.7%. So 62.7%, I'm sorry, this thing is like really, really, really distracting me. 62.7%. Whoa. So let me read that. The labor force participation rate, or those actively looking for work, was unchanged. So there's 62.7% of people looking for work. I don't get this number. Somebody, if you have the reasoning behind this statistic, let me know in the comments below. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. So essentially, these are the percentage of people that are in the labor force or actively looking for work. I'm so sorry. That makes sense. So I wonder who are the 30+% people who are not looking for work? That can't all be retired individuals. So what is that demographic looking like in terms of people just giving up on the job market? It says Wall Street already had poised for a higher open, and futures tied to major stock market averages added to gains following the report. Treasury yields tumbled after being little change before the release. The report raised the prospect of the Goldilocks climate where growth continues but not at such a rapid pace to force the Fed to tighten policy further. Let's go down here to the unemployment rate, which is very important. So you see how high unemployment was in 2021, and here it is in 2024, April, 3.9%, but it's slowly creeping up. It's slowly creeping up. I want to draw attention to this, because when the Fed started raising interest rates, they did come out to say that we Americans had too much money, we had access to too many financial resources, and that unemployment needed to go up. And sure enough, we're seeing that. I'm going to cover a report on credit card balances because that's going to tie into what I'm going to say. But essentially, I do feel like unemployment is going to go up. These banks are going to start shutting off credit balances and start denying people access to credit. And that's when we're really going to feel the pain as American citizens. We're really going to feel so much pain once credit cards get cut off. Other sectors showing significant rises included social assistance, 31,000 jobs, transportation and warehousing, 22,000, retail, construction added 9,000 positions, while government, which has shown solid gains in recent months, was up just about 8,000 positions after averaging 55,000 over the previous 12 months. All low paid, low skill jobs. Like, we're not seeing significant increases in jobs, white collar jobs that pay six figures, that get close to six figures. We just saw the Tesla layoffs, 14,000 people laid off at Tesla. These companies are getting rid of the white collar workers quicker. Like, they want to I feel like they want to go into a place where we're just having a ton of part-time employment opportunities and a ton of like low wage, low skilled employment opportunities. But you can't feed your family or really provide for yourself on these type of positions. You're going to have like two of them, maybe a full-time and a part-time job, but or maybe get a gig work, some type of gig job to help supplement your income. But you can't really survive on these types of jobs here. All right. Household employment, which is used to calculate the unemployment rate, increased by just 25,000 on the month. Workers holding full-time jobs soared by 949,000 on the month, while those holding part-time jobs slumped by 914,000 per month by the month, I would say. So a lot of people are holding part-time jobs. They're holding full-time jobs, but they're also holding part-time jobs. The report comes 2 days after the Fed again voted to hold borrowing costs steady, keeping its benchmark overnight borrowing rate to a targeted range of about 5.25 to 5.5%, the highest in more than 20 years, like the 80s. Following the decision, Chair Jerome Powell characterized the jobs market as strong, but noted that inflation is too high, and this year's economic data has indicated a lack of further progress in getting inflation back to the Fed's 2% target. I want to pause right there. When the Fed first started raising interest rates, they did come out to say, hey, once again, we need unemployment to go up. And I feel like that was the wrong policy to kind of put out there. I wonder why all the blame, all the earnest is being put on the employee and not the employer. So what's stopping these companies from raising their prices and keeping their prices raised? Like, what is stopping them? We're gonna have to again lose our jobs, lose the ability to pay for these high price resources for them to just finally fall to their knees and do what's right and lower these prices. Let's go on. I want to talk about credit card balances. Average earnings are going down. Yep. Let's talk about credit card balances because it seems like that's the most pressing issue today. Share this tab here. Okay, and this is from the Fed Reserve of New York Center for Microeconomic Data. Household debt and credit report. So, household debt reaches 17.5 trillion in fourth quarter of 2023. Delinquency rates rise. Total household debt rose by 2.2 billion to reach 17.5 trillion in the fourth quarter of 2023, according to the latest quarterly report on household debt and credit. Credit imbalances increased by 50 billion to 1.13 trillion over the quarter, while mortgage balances rose by 112 billion to 12.25 trillion. Wow. Auto loan balances rose by 12 billion to 1.61 trillion, continuing an upward trajectory since 2011. Delinquency transition rates increased for all debt types except for student loans. That's because student loans are on pause right now, still until September. This is crazy. Astronomically high household debt. Like, how long can this keep going? When will this bubble pop? Like, we can't keep carrying over, mortgage balances, car loan balances, credit card balances. Like, something is going to pop, and I think when one thing pops, the other things are going to follow suit. So the first thing that will probably pop, I would say either the credit cards or the car loans. People are paying outrageous amounts of money per month for their cars. I'm seeing car payments of $1,000. You guys, that is crazy. Like, if you were paying $1,000 car loan, you need to like wake up and give the keys to dealership ASAP. Give it back because that's a mortgage. That's rent. You should never be paying housing, the cost of housing, for your car unless you plan to live in your car. And a lot of you guys are living in the car. I did a report on that. But yes, if you're not planning to live in your car, why are you paying rent prices, mortgage prices for a car? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Credit card balances. I've talked to you guys how important it is in a recession that you limit your debt. The first thing you want to do is limit that high interest debt, including your credit card. So start paying that off. If you have to get a second job, a third job, do whatever you can to start paying off these balances in case you do find yourself unemployed. You won't have to deal with credit card debt spiraling out of control while you're looking for a job, while you're trying to feed yourself and provide housing and whatnot that you're going to need. Mortgage balances, people are not paying their bills. Like, people are just not paying their bills at all, and it seems like we're all okay. Like, it seems like we're all okay. The news is saying you guys are fine, and the job market is strong, but we don't feel fine. Like we feel the water slowly heating up in the kettle, like in the pot, if that makes sense to you all. So, um, look out for yourself, look out for your family, be cautious out there, look out for your friends, check on each other. Don't make any rash financial decisions right now. My husband and I, we were going to lease a new car, and we decided not to because the purchase price or the lease price was just too high, astronomically high, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. So we just bought, an older car with cash and kept it moving. And now I'm so happy that we did because we didn't let the bells and the whistles of the Honda Hybrid distract us from what was very important, which was that final price, that lease price, and what we're going to pay per month. We would end up paying, half the car's value in 2 years, which is ridiculous. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like when we ran the numbers, we literally did the numbers in front of the guy's face, and it just wasn't making sense to us. So we left. We decided to leave, and just, luckily we were able to purchase a car elsewhere with cash, older vehicle, and we're very happy with that purchase. So all I gotta say is be careful out here. What do you guys think about what's happening in the job market? Do you think inflation is going to continue to rise? Do you think the Fed is going to cut interest rates anytime soon? What do you think about all this household debt in America? And like, what does that mean for us? What does that mean for you guys? What are you guys doing to prepare for the worst? Have you lost your job yet, or do you think you're going to lose your job? I did talk to you guys, about my job moving 80% of the workload to Mexico. Like you're taking 80% of our workload to Mexico. So yeah, like it's crazy. It's getting crazy out here. But stay healthy, stay wealthy. Take care and peace.